Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about something a little bit different. I haven't really done a video about this before, but today we're going to get into my favorite, degen farming. So yes, we're going to talk about degen farming. Before we jump into anything, let's talk about the most important thing while doing this kind of stuff is being safe, right? So the most important thing is keeping, if you're going into these farms, you want to do some research, right? And another tip is that, it's good to get into a good Telegram group where people are discussing these projects. If there's a project that you are thinking about getting into, make sure you go to the Telegram, see what people are saying about it. And then one of the most important things is checking RugDoc. Now, RugDoc is a service that looks at the code for, all these kind of farms, right? So one of the projects that I'm going to talk about is called Night Finance. And now this has a medium risk. Medium risk is not the greatest. It can still, have some sketchy code in it, and you can risk losing your money, right? One of the other most important things to do is to make sure that you have the master chef address, because in the case that the website does go down or something happens, you can withdraw your liquidity, right? So you can go here, you copy paste your the master chef address for the farm, and you withdraw your LP tokens. You can also do it in the contract. That's another story. That's for another video to get into. But you can actually go into the smart contract address, the smart contract, and you can withdraw your liquidity from there. But this RugDoc service has made it easier by just going over here. You put the master chef address and you withdraw your liquidity. Especially in the case where the token price just tanks or they rug in that sense, right? But yeah, anyway, so let's move along to so another project I'm going to talk about is called Mars Ecosystem. Now this one is my favorite, and they have a Certec audit, a slow mist audit, so this I'm more comfortable putting more money into, right? Whereas unlike Night Finance, I'm not going to put that much because, because of the medium risk. But what I'm finding now is that it is getting more difficult for programmers to launch sketchy code and launch sketchy projects because of projects like RugDoc that are out there always on the hunt looking for, malicious developers and all that kind of stuff. So there's least risk. This is the one, whenever you're going to do a farm, you check on here, and if it has least risk, that's going to be, that's good. Even low risk, even some risk is good. Medium risk, of course, is, and then high risk, you're going to probably lose some money. All right, so let's get into it. So one thing that I've learned that I think is very important while doing this kind of stuff is never to buy the native token. I mean, unless you're very, very confident, and it's a huge project, something like Pancake swap, which is, but back then you would never know that Pancake swap would have been the premier DEX for Binance Smart Chain. So, that's the token that you'd want to definitely hold on to, even though it's dropping right now. And I learned that the hard way because I got into Hunny. Now, Hunny, I bought, a bit higher than this, and I bought the native token. And actually, sorry, no, I bought the Hunny BNB liquidity pair together. But, yeah, so the token price went down, but imagine that you were using instead, let's say, Cake BNB, for example. that would have been a much better pair to use to farm the token. And that's why in my previous video when I was talking about VVS on Chronos, is that I didn't buy VVS, I'm just farming it. That way, if the price of the token goes down, you know, I'm not going to lose anything because those are just farm tokens anyway, right? So anyway, so Degen farming, I'm going to show you 3 examples of just 3 random farms that I'm in. You know, so this is Hunny. This is the one that I bought the native token, which I shouldn't have, but it's okay. So I'm planning on staying in this long term. You know, it's still paying out dividends that I can cash out whenever I need to jump into another project or whatever, right? So I've got about $92 in dividends here that I'm just gonna let it stay. I don't really need it, so I'll just let it accumulate, and then, you know, once this goes higher and higher, I can then decide if I want to put more liquidity into this and continue farming, or if I'm just gonna, you know, cash out. And then next up is Night Finance. Now this one is, you know, probably not many people have heard of this one, but it's I put about 2 grand into here. That's farming me. Let's see here. I put excuse me. So the APR on this went down quite a bit, 76%. You know, and I've got about $23 in divs here. Don't really need to take it out yet. There's no farm that I'm gonna jump into yet, but when I do, you know, I'll just probably come over here, take this out, and put it into another farm. The cool thing about this farm is that there's no deposit fee. So a lot of farms, there's a lot, you know, there's 3%, 4% deposit fees, but this is basically free. So it's just, you know, printing you dividends that you sell, right? Same with Hunny. There's no deposit fee. You just gotta, I think there's like, you gotta hold your tokens in there for a couple days or whatever, and then there's no deposit fee. And then number 3, there's a farm called Mars Ecosystem. Now this one is one of my favorites because I was waiting to get into a project that about a month ago, and that project has been delayed, and it's still not out. And when the project was announced, I put Cake BNB LPs together and just sitting there waiting for the project. And then I thought, okay, this project might take a while. Where can I park my Cake BNB while I'm waiting? And this has 315% APR, and I've been in this for over a month now because that's how long it's been taking for this project. And now the thing with this farm is that you can only cash out your dividends. So there's a 6-month period which all your dividends are being given to you, and they're slowly being given to you over 6 months, right? So let's click here. So in the last month or so, I've accumulated $4,800 in XMS. I did have over 1,000 here that were claimable that I cashed out so that I could buy more crabs. The crabs you can see in my other video. So yeah, that's great. I mean, I was just sitting on those LP tokens, and you know, there's about $10,000 worth of LP tokens in here that I can pull out anytime when that project launches. But what's just so great is that, you know, this right here, I'm not gonna even touch it unless I'm gonna buy more crabs, but really I don't need to. So I'm just gonna leave this in here. It's gonna continue accumulating, and I'll only get out of this farm once the other project comes out, which maybe I'll talk about in another video. It's a big project that I'm really looking forward to. So yeah, vesting schedule, 180 days linear vesting once every 3 days. So yeah, every 3 days I'm gonna get a portion of this that I can claim and sell, which I'm not. I'm just gonna let it build up, but it's cool, just random, you know, over almost $6,000 in a little over a month, just chilling out over here with my LPs. so that's great. And this price was actually $1.25 the other day, so you know that would have been worth a lot more. But now the price is down because the whole market is sort of bleeding out. So yeah, anyway, that's my take on degen farming. You can even go into even riskier farms than this. You know, like I'll show you one actually. I got into this one. I'll show you. So here's one. This one is very, very super risky, you know? Let's see here. So I got into the Phantom Ethereum LP farm. This APR was way higher before. It was like thousands of %. But, you know, typically what happens is this price is super high when the farm launches, and then over time, the price tanks, the APR tanks, of course, and then so does, you know, your dividends. So I've got about $4 here. You know, this farm is kind of just whatever. I wouldn't bother with something like this. I just wanted to play around. But yeah, anyway, those other 3 farms, Night Finance, Hunny, and Mars, those were all good. Those are just 3 random farms that I'm in. You know, there's a lot other ones, but I'm not gonna get into all that right now. So yeah. Alright, I think that's about it. And I'm gonna end it there, and I'm gonna go get some coffee and enjoy the rest of the day and do some research, and I'll see you guys later.